I don't think that can go in the video. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode on Auto Alex V2. Today is a bit of an introduction video into my personal car that I've had for just over 3 years now, and it is my 540i. So as I just said, I've had this car for actually just over 3 years now. It's been quite a while. I bought it, I think, just after COVID lockdown. I got contacted by a really good friend of mine, Anthony, who runs part of the BMW car club, and he rung me up and he went, "All right, Taylor, I know you like an old rubbish BMW. I've been offered one." And a very, very nice lady called Charlie contacted Anthony and said, "I've got a BMW 5 Series estate that I want to sell." I didn't really think much about it at the time. I was like, not really that fussed. So I left it for about a week, and then on a Sunday, about a week after I got offered it, I thought, I'm really in the mood to buy a car, I'm a bit bored. So I rang Anthony up, I said to him, "Is the car still for sale?" He then gave Charlie a call, and she said, "I've actually got someone coming and have a look at it tomorrow, but if he comes tonight, he can come and see it." So I went straight round there, and I started having a look around it. I noticed the first thing, it's got a manual gearbox, and I thought, that's quite nice. And then I opened the bonnet. This is a 4.4 litre, naturally aspirated V8. And I thought, oh, that's quite nice. And I had a little look around the car. It didn't run at the time because the fuel pump was seized. It had been sat since 2014. So I was like, "How much do you want for it, Charlie?" And she said, "I would like £1,750. And I said,
"Why does this always happen to you?"
I don't know. And I said, "Would you take 1,500 quid?" To be fair, at the time, I didn't know of its rarity, and I didn't know how much it'd be worth or anything like that. And in my head, I was thinking, oh, that's nice. I could tie it up a bit. I'll probably get £3.5 grand for it. Lovely, that'll do. So we met at £1,650, which is, as you probably know, if you know anything about BMW E39s, is not a lot of money for one of these. So I was very excited that night. I went home and I thought, I'm going to Google 540i manual touring and see what they're worth, see what they're going for. And I found one for sale. Do you want to guess how much it was, Rory?
5 grand.
No.
7.
No.
8.
It was for sale. It had slightly less mileage than this. It had, I think, 20k less. It's done 120,000 miles, and it was up for £20,000.
What?
£20,000. And I thought, this is quite an unusual, rare car. I did a bit more research and found out that there are 14 left on the road, I believe, 6 of which are pre-facelifts, which is what this is. And I got very, very excited about it, as you could probably imagine. I managed to get an MOT on it after doing a few other bits and bobs, and I drove it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. As you probably know, Rory, I tend to buy cars quite a lot to sell on. And then I go, I'm not selling this.
So this was in the corner of your unit when me and Alex first went over to do...
the £25 6 Series.
Yeah, the £25 6 Series.
Which is the first time that we'd ever done a video. That was only the second time I'd ever met you.
And me and Alex just called it shit, to be honest.
It was a bit dilapidated. So what happened was, I drove it about for a couple of months. I bought this in the summer, and when it got to the winter, I noticed that there was a few things wrong with it. The rear suspension was not in a good way. It needed arms, bushes. It just had a lot of play in it. It felt very loose and it was a bit juddery, not happy. One of the rear jacking points had collapsed after jacking it up, and the other one was slightly wonky, which is a common thing on these, unfortunately, especially if they've got sunroofs, which this has. So I took it off the road and I took all the rear suspension out of it, the rear subframe, all the bushes, completely stripped the subframe down to a bare aluminium subframe. I rebuilt it back up and bought all new Febby Bilstein arms for it, and then put poly bushes in those new arms. Not long after that, after I'd stripped it down, I then moved units.
And then it sat.
It was sat for a while. I was introduced into the world of YouTube, which is what you're looking at now with your eyeballs. And it just sat in the corner of my unit on axle stands, and I felt really, really bad about it. Really, really bad. So I said to myself, right, I've had enough. I am concentrating on this car and I'm gonna get it back on the road. And I spent a good few weekends on this. After that, it then went to Rich's fabrication shop. I said to Rich, I want a full custom stainless steel exhaust. I just want it with centre silencers and a back box. Well, Rich knew how much I loved this car and he got a bit carried away, didn't he, Rory?
He did. Shall we have a listen?
We'll have a listen. Fruity. And this is what it sounds like when you give it a rev. And this is what it sounds like when you press a button on the fob that opens a flap.
King hell.
Yeah. What that is a straight piped V8. It bypasses the back box. It's got a flap inside the back box, and I didn't know about it at the time. In fact, I think Rich spent 2 weeks making this exhaust on and off, and it is an absolute work of art. We'll have a look at that in a minute. After that, it then went to my body shop for a full respray. I rebuilt the wheels on it, had them all refurbished, and courtesy of Tyre Streets UK, thank you very much, a set of lovely Accelera 651 Sports. Don't forget to use the code AUTOALEX for 10% off.
Well, what makes this car so special though?
So what makes this car special is that it's a 540i, 4.4 six-speed manual from factory. Yeah. What makes it really special is that it was factory ordered by Steve Goodridge of Goodridge UK, which is a company that makes braided brake lines, braided fuel lines, and does a lot of work with rally cars, Formula One cars, stuff like that. And he factory spec'd this car back in 1998, and it came to a cost of £55,000. It's got purple aubergine leather interior, wood trim, TV, phone, but it's not got electric seats, it's not got heated seats. It's a bit of a, it's a driver's car. I also have in here, behind my split tailgate, the original bill of sale. It's a bit creased, I sat on it. As you can see, Mr. S. Goodridge of Goodridge UK, Schnitzer suspension kit, rear window spoiler, E39 Alpina front spoiler. I had a look, and I've contacted BMW about this. And because of the spec that it's got, makes this car a one of one, which I think is very, very cool. It's very similar to Alex's purple 330i Barney, which I also used to own. So the reason we're actually here today is I am gonna do some bits to it. I've got a new coolant hose, Exhibit A. I've got a new boot badge, because mine's a bit crusty. And I've got a new diff bolt, because I fitted a temporary diff bolt in it and it's not the correct one. And I feel like if I go a bit Joie de Vivre off the lights, it might snap. So I've got a genuine one. So we're gonna get it on the ramp. I'll show you the exhaust. You can have a look at the underside because I've titivated it, and we'll fit these bits.
Before that, a quick shout out to this week's sponsor, Carly, that not only lets you check the health of your car, it also unlocks hidden features, which I'll show you with my new daily driver in just a second. But first, let me tell you about Carly.
Carly is a must-have for all petrol heads because it allows you to take back control of your car by diving into its diagnostics to get a complete overview of your vehicle's health. Simply plug the scanner into the OBD2 port, open the app, and Carly will reveal all. So let's check out the health of my high mileage 530D.
So all I need to do is click on diagnostics, continue. Very bad. 40 issues found. Diesel particulate filter, exhaust gas pressure too high, filter heavily loaded. So maybe that means I need to boot it more on the motorway to clear the DPF, I'm thinking. And now let me show you those hidden features that you can unlock with Carly, especially on newer BMWs like this.
With just a few clicks, there are tons of hidden features and sub-menus you can unlock, including a digital speedometer and the car's driving modes.
And I've also enabled a cool thing called X-Drive Status that tells me my car's pitch and roll. So if we have a look here, if I just move about like this, these numbers are changing, which is very cool, and it tells me if I'm driving very aggressively or very smoothly. So if you want to take control of your car, then Carly is the tool for you. What's more, you can get 15% off your Carly using the code AUTOALEXV2 at checkout.
Ta-da! Welcome to the underside of my 540i. We've got the original AC Schnitzer suspension. If you look at that, Roy, see the anti-roll bar? IBAC AC Schnitzer, and it's got factory polyurethane bushes. This car does have its original shocks and springs on it. It's got AC Schnitzer springs and Bilstein shocks from factory.
So although it's cool, it probably doesn't ride that good.
Although it's cool, it's a little bit jittery because I feel like this suspension setup is undersprung and overdamped because it's a little bit sort of soft and bouncy when you hit, you know, a big dip in the road. But when you hit potholes, it's a little bit da-da-da-da. I would quite like to change the suspension. So, BC Racing, if you'd like to just, you know, maybe send me out a nice little box that says E39 Touring on it with some lovely coilovers in it, I'd be very appreciative. Thank you very much. So what are we gonna do, Rory?
Diff bolt.
Diff bolt. This goes like that, and then the nut goes on the end. Now, this bolt that I've put in holds the diff in perfectly. There's not a real problem with it. This bolt, the original one, is a high tensile bolt, and it's designed to take big forces, I guess. So we'll get that one off and we'll bung this one on. God! I am incredibly strong. Sometimes I just don't even know my own strength. So, nut removed, give the diff a little wiggle, and then bolt. Simple. And you can actually see that the new bolt is quite a lot thicker than the old one.
Yeah.
So it's a good job that I'm changing that. Oh. There we go. Right, and then nut. Look at that.
And what torque are you doing that up to?
All of them. Look at me go. Oh,
I fucking hope I got that on film.
Beautiful. So I'm just going to take the under tray off so that all the antifreeze doesn't sit on the under tray when it leaks out. And then lower it down and do the coolant hose. So I'm going to replace this top hose, and the reason for why, I don't know, can you see this, Rory? Here, look. See, it's got a bit missing out of it.
How's that
there.
happen?
So what happened was, the engine mounts were the original ones and they'd failed, they'd all come apart and split. And I gave it a bit of joie de vivre, and the engine lifted up and went like that, and then the fan hit the coolant hose. So if you've ever got a BMW and this bit always breaks, or if you've always got a little cut out of your top coolant hose, you need to change your engine mounts. So I've changed my engine mounts, obviously they're brand new because the engine effectively left the vehicle. So all I need to do now is replace this coolant hose, fill it back up with coolant, and then bleed it out. Rory, it's all gone on the floor. What I'm gonna do, watch this. I'm gonna try and lose the least amount of coolant possible, because I did actually change this fairly recently. So what I'm gonna do is take the hose off there and then put this one on. Like that, yeah? And then I'm gonna take this clip all the way up like that and then put it on there. And then all I've got to do is be very quick. Ready, steady. Look at that. I reckon I've lost about half a litre and that's it. And all I need to do now is tighten up my little clitoriuses. I'm a bit OCD. I always line the clip heads up because I like them all to line up nicely. There you go. Go on, girl. Oh, yeah. Oh, only the best for you, honey. And finally, Rory, the finishing touch. Always do your badges last. I'm missing...
You're missing a rubber thing.
A rubber thing. It hasn't come with new rubber things.
How much was that badge?
No.
How much though? Because you can usually get them for like £8 on eBay.
Yeah, but I don't buy eBay ones because all the colour comes off of them in about 5 seconds.
No, so how much is it then? What, like double? 18?
No, it's about £40.
£40?
Rory, stop attacking me. Voila. There is one more thing. Now that it's been on the channel, I mean, it would be rude not to, wouldn't it? Is it on the piss?
It's hard to tell because the logo is on the piss.
Voila. Boppity boppity. Get in! You get in this car! Hang on, I'm gonna have to pump my suspension up a bit. It's Alex, everyone!
Hello!
You ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna go out for a nice little drive to the seaside. Ignore my suspension. I am fully aware that
It's quite shit.
Is it
it's
that
a bit
shit?
shit, yes.
That is shit.
So this is with my flap in the closed position.
Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah?
It's quite slow, this, isn't it?
This feels like, you know when the police run like
Yeah!
All right, yeah, mini up ahead. Yeah,
This week on Police Interceptors!
He's going for a decam! He's going for a decam!
He's crashed! You won't drift it.
No, you're right, I won't 4-man up because the body will come off the chassis.
Speaking of bodies coming off chassis, tell everyone that story about you and the caravan.
No. Oh, I opened my flap here.
Because this
Yes.
road is now national speed limit,
Okay,
so you
right.
can now actually
Open your flap! Open your flap!
It's open. Are you ready?
Yeah. That's quite loud! That's quite loud! Yeah, that's loud.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's all right, that, isn't it?
It makes quite a lot of joie de vivre.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can hear it a little bit less in this because it's got insulation, whereas the Alpha...
What, your fat ass?
The Alpha... Okay, so it's day 2, and today is a very special day. Oh shit, I haven't got them over here. Let me go and get them quickly, hang on. Zoom in on my face, and then I'll start, and then today is a very special day because...
Aiden, use all of this.
Oh, f*** off, Aiden. Just f*** the lot of you. Right, so it's day 2 of 540 stuff, and today is a very special day because I've got some coilovers. BC came through and they heard me very, very upset about my suspension, so they sent me
After much begging from Taylor.
much begging. And they've sent me some BC Racing coilovers. These are RA series and they are designed for a 5 series touring, but there's a little bit of a question mark when it comes to the SLS, which is the self-leveling suspension. This has got rear air suspension. Apparently this doesn't come with something to delete the rear air suspension. So I need to work out what that is and if I need anything additional. So we're gonna get it up in the air, get the wheels off, get these unboxed and work out if I've got everything correctly. And if I have, we're gonna fit them. Oh, Rory, these are nice.
Oh.
Spring
Yeah.
adjuster. And then a rear shock absorber. And then that goes in there and then you can, so this is the airbag, and this will be coming out, and then the spring will go in there.
So what Taylor's just realised
You can't see any of this.
is when he was reassembling all of the suspension, this arm might be the wrong one.
I don't know yet. I don't know, because
Well,
you can see
judging by that.
it's been hitting there. So I'm gonna look at a picture of this on Google.
So, after Taylor doing a quick Google search, he has found indeed he did install the arms the wrong way around.
Yeah, which is an easy mistake to make.
So we now have to take these arms off then.
Yeah, but they're easy to get off once the shocks are out of the way. So I need to let the air out of the bags here and here. And then you take 2 clips off, pop that up, and then take these 2 clips off, the airbag comes out, and then the shock absorbers are under here. Easy as pie. Oh.
You've got a squeezy bag now, Taylor.
So repeat on this side. God. They don't look that old, but these are the same age as this car. These are the shock absorbers that it came with from factory. As I said, these shock absorbers, there's nothing wrong with them. They function okay, but the springs are too soft and the dampers are too harsh. What we've got to remember is new technology has come out since these shock absorbers were made. And we are bringing this car into the 21st century. What about if you try and put it in and I hang off of it because I weigh more than you?
That's true. No, Tay, that's not gonna go on.
Not even a bit?
No, you've literally got another 3 inches, I would say.
So this is bolted to the hub and I need to get that on now.
How are we gonna do that? I didn't even record that.
Did you not record it?
No.
Well, it's in.
I did it.
No, you didn't.
You were doing it a dumb way and I changed it and it...
How dare you?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and this arm is now the correct way up, so it won't bottom out up there. So that's one rear done, Rory. That looks very motorsport, doesn't it? We've got EBC brakes, polyurethane bushes, BC Racing coilovers, rose joint adjustable ride height sensors, Febi Bilstein arms. It's very sporty. So what I'm going to do now, this new shock absorber, if you look, is slightly shorter than the old one. And what this adjustment is droop. So when you jack the car up in the air, this determines how far the wheels hang. I don't really know what that affects, unless you jump your car all the way. Okay, so the rears are now done. Time to move on to the front, which I'm a little bit nervous about because this is the original suspension, shocks and springs, and they haven't been removed since 1998.
Oh, God. No.
This car's
Oh! Probably.
Look at this, Roy, look. Es ist nicer.
It's just nice.
But I've just noticed that stamp is quite crudely stamped over an IBAC sticker. So it's effectively IBAC springs and Bilstein shocks. But what I have noticed, look, this spring is under no tension at all. Look at the difference.
Oh, look at how new they are.
Look at the size. So the front suspension is now all done. It was quite easy actually, nothing was seized. It all came out quite easily. I was very, very happy. So now I'm gonna bung the wheels on and take it out for a drive. I'm very excited.
Ooh. I think you might have nailed that though.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, maybe either the front up a bit more or the rear down. That's up to you.
To be fair, by the time I put all my crap back in the boot.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yes. Oh, we need to drive it. Oh, I'm very excited. I'm excited to see if it stops bottoming out now that I've flipped those rear arms over, because that was quite bad before. Oh, I can already tell it feels so much better. Even over all the manholes and the potholes. Before it was really crashy. It literally, if I had dentures, they would have been in the footwell. I have got it set to the softest setting, because obviously I'm getting a bit old now, so I like a bit of comfort. And I must admit, I'll give this car its due. I think because of the AC Schnitzer anti-roll bars that it's got on it, it didn't have much body roll to start with. It was actually really good. And now it's even better. It feels incredible. Oh, it's really completed this car. I've never actually tested the limited slip diff in this car. I know I shouldn't. That is very irresponsible of me. Why did I even think that? Oh my God, it feels good. It's completely transformed the car. Oh look, it grips for days. Whoa! Okay, so the LSD does work. Oh, that was funny. Oh, I love this car. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, BC Racing, for sending me out these incredible coilovers. If I didn't love driving this car before, I adore it now. Absolutely adore it. Well, that sort of sums up the video for the mechanical work on the 540. I hope you enjoyed it, and if there's anything else that you'd like to see me doing on the 540, please comment below and let me know what you think.